Hello, this is Nicki reporting from J. Percy Page News with an important update about the Chinese immigrant laws. There is a woman here today who has lived through the Chinese head tax. There will be more about this on the 6 o'clock news. I am here with Chan, the woman who lived through the Chinese head tax. So, welcome, Chan. Can you explain to us what happened throughout your time here?
I arrived in Canada at the age of 15. The head tax was created by the Dominion federal government in 1885. The fees starting at only $10, but in 1990 we wanted my mother and my sister to live with us, but at that time the tax went up to $100. Prime Minister John A. Macdonald got support from the Parliament for an electoral franchise act that we did not get included in. People like my family and I in the Chinese race, we were all worried because they were also very close to a royal commission.
Yes, that is all right. Also, Justice Hamilton Gray was part of this all. Am I correct?
Yes, he recommended a $10 tax on every Chinese man, woman, or child who wanted to come into the country.
In 1887, he was the one who ruled against the constitutionality of British Columbia's Chinese Tax Act in Tazen v. Maguire.
But with all the people against him and against us, nothing would have ever worked, and he did change and go against us. Eventually the tax went up and up and up. What got the ball rolling was the $10 with Justice John Hamilton, and eventually it went up to $50, and then it doubled in 1990 to $100. When all of that didn't work, they put it at $500 in 1903. That was the 2 years' wage at that time.
They really wanted to keep you in, didn't they?
Yes.
And they collected $23 million from the taxes on Chinese people. And what did they use with the money?
I'd like to know the same thing.
Well, we will have some of these questions answered later tonight. Until then, Chan, would you please tell us some more about how it was living in that time and about all the things you had to do just to make ends meet?
Yes, it was. When I arrived in Canada, my father had worked on the railroad tracks. He told me that every day a Chinese man had died working on the railroad. Then one day I had gotten a terrible news that my father had died on the railroads.
Oh, so how would you feel if the Prime Minister came in and apologized to you and your and the rest of the Chinese people about this?
I think it would help people a lot.
We have the Prime Minister come into the building. Welcome.
Thank you for having me today.
And we tortured them.
I think it is acceptable on my behalf to apologize for what we have done to the Chinese people since 1885, bringing them here, having to make them pay fees, and also making them do hard labor on dangerous jobs that we did not want the Canadians to do.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
I'm sure most of China or the Chinese race in Canada will think the same thing.
I hope they do.
Namaste.
So, that's our show. Thank you for watching, and farewell. We talked to Chan and the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister has paid back all of the Chinese immigrants their money who spent money getting people to come. And we have Chan here. So how does it feel having money?
I'm really glad that he decided to do that. I think it really helped a lot of the immigrants out that came here, and I think they have a whole new respect for Canada.
I see. That's good to know. This affects us today because I guess without the Chinese we wouldn't have a train across Canada, and
we, if the Chinese didn't like us, and then we wouldn't have a lot of people that work in our community, and so we would not have a lot of the things that we have today, and all the products that we get from China, and yeah,
So they forgave us. So
luckily, yeah.
they